Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of PlayFrugal Reviews. Today we're talking about Glass Masquerade, a jigsaw puzzle game put out by Onyx Loot originally in November of 2016. On the frugal side, normally you can pick this game up for $4.99, so even at full price, it's not really a pricey piece of software here. But we actually were able to pick it up with a deal through Fanatical for actually $1. So keep in mind that that's what we're working with here is a $1 game. So just to kind of get into the meat of this, as you can see from the home screen, this is an Art Deco stained glass design, and all the puzzles that you're going to be putting together will be of this nature. Now, the conceit of the game is essentially that there is an international art exhibit. Each country has put together its own special, unique design, and you go through and you say, okay, well, let's go to a given country, and you'll do its design, and I'll show you how we do this starting in here. As you can see, we've already done 23 of 41 done, because it includes a bunch of free DLC which come with the game, and this particular one we just did is Canada, and let's go here to down to the USA, through Mexico, and just let's start with Ecuador. Okay, you see Ecuador, it's a level 4 out of 5 difficulty, and this is going to be the general shape that we're going to be working in, and let's go ahead and get into it. And here we are. And so basically what it is doing, it is timing you, although you can see there's no clock in front of you, so there's no time pressure if you don't choose to play that way. It's just a nice relaxing game. It's not something you're going to sit down and really get yourself adrenaline worked up over. This is strictly for relaxation, and I actually highly recommend it for that. So we'll start off here, and basically the way it works is that you start off and you see these little circles. You match them up to the circles inside the puzzle itself, and that kind of gives you a starting point. So from here, we've used up all those. Now you're on your own, and you're going to put it together, and it works the same way any jigsaw puzzle would typically work. And so what we're going to do is I'll just play through a little bit as we go, and you see one of the things, you look at this piece, that is not necessarily the orientation it's going to be in, but when you click on it, it will flip to the proper orientation, which actually will help you place it. You can see there, we found the corner down there at the bottom, so we look for some other straight edge pieces, and you just scroll the mouse wheel to get the pieces to rotate, and we have a piece here, and that looks like it belongs there, and it does. And we have a circular piece. One of the things you'll find with these pieces is that they aren't necessarily to scale, so you're really looking at the shape, not necessarily the size, in order to get a good idea. So we know this is on this curve. Oh, we just happen to get it right. Okay, so we're moving along. Now this is on the out. Looks like it's on the outside. Fits in there, and again, we're talking about the curve there doesn't quite match. Oh, so there, it fits right in there. Okay, so again, we're just looking for more flat pieces. That was general jigsaw puzzle strategy, fitting in the outline first. But as you can see, it's very chill. The music, if you can hear it, is kind of relaxing. So it's definitely something good. You had a long day, you just want to not engage too many of your brain cells, but you're going to work one or two, but you're not really going to overwork it here, because none of these puzzles, at least the ones that we've encountered so far, are really going to kill you, but they take a little bit of time. And like I said, especially when you're coming home from work after a long day, or school, or wherever it is that you've been spending your time, it can definitely be a good way to unwind before you have to face the rest of the day. But anyway, so we're going through, as you can see, that it's starting to fill in nicely, and it's really just to me a really pretty game to look at. And you can combine that with kind of the relaxing music, and the nature of the game itself, of figuring all this out, um, I found myself, I think I've got like 9 or 10 hours in at this point, which, of course, when you're talking about a game you spent $1 for, that's pretty darn good return, bang for your buck. But and the other thing too is we also have just came out with the sequel, Glass Masquerade 2 Illusions, and we'll be reviewing that one as well. Haven't had a chance to get into that, although it is sitting in the library. But I would imagine it's going to be very similar, but with new designs. There's really kind of only so much you can do with the genre, but as you can see, it's just really pretty, and I thoroughly enjoyed this dollar game, which certainly plays like something a lot better. Okay, and one of the nice things you do is just go in there and flip them around, see what fits, and that looks like maybe something that goes here, and it does. And another street. Picking this one up where it goes, but there we go. I knew it had to fit somewhere on the edge. Here, do we have anything that might fit here? Okay, we're catching some breaks here. Kind of things fitting in rather nicely. Obviously, the nature of any jigsaw puzzle, they don't always work out so nicely, but this one, at least so far, has been. And this is, again, Ecuador, the design that they've put together for that. But each country has one, and I really haven't come across any that I was like, I don't know. I mean, they're just all really, really pretty. So the art director on this, really, hats off to him. He's done a really good job. And working farther at this, let's just give it a second to marinate here while we try to figure some of this out. Okay. Okay, looks like we've got a person here in the middle, which y'all may have already caught on to that, but it might help us figuring out where some of these pieces go. And it looks like it could be over here somewhere. Yeah. Okay. Alright, how about this? She doesn't want to fit in there anywhere nicely. So, okay. So let's see if we can find pieces to fit in here, rather than just kind of randomly grabbing one here and there, as I tend to do from the beginning of the game. But there we go. That one will work. And now that is not going to work there. Now, each of these we found that most of them I have been able to complete within 10 minutes or less. A couple of them have taken longer, but that's me. I mean, you may find your mileage is going to vary depending on your particular skill with doing jigsaws. But you figure there's 41 puzzles. There's, again, $1 of original cost at 10 minutes per. So you're probably talking about, if you would just sit down and play straight through for whatever reason, you're probably talking about 7 hours or so of straight playtime. So again, not bad for $1. And each time when you finish it, will give you a time, tell you how long it took you to solve the problem, and they're all replayable. So it's one of those things that you say, oh, I got it in 9 minutes last time. Let's see if we can get it in 8. So there's a lot of replayability, and unless you're the kind of person who is going to be able to memorize where all these pieces go, it's going to be a new challenge every time to try to remember how things go. And there we go. That's that piece right there. And here we go. Let's rotate the pieces around on the outer rim here. Let's see if we can find something that works. There you go. Fits in nicely up there. It should go over here somewhere, but not seeing it. That's okay. Next piece. And again, not quite seeing that one either. But let's go here. And that one's going to fit right in there. Sometimes you can just look at these pieces and you say, aha, that's obviously where it goes. Other times, I have no idea where this thing fits. But this one, like I said, seems to be coming together rather nicely. Okay. Yeah. Just trying to match up these designs here. Figure out where these pieces go. So we're going to leave that one be for a minute. Let's go over here to the other side again. And let's see what we got. Okay, and this one. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. And that one. Obviously, just like with any other kind of jigsaw puzzle, the more you fill in, the faster it goes. And so we're starting to pick up a little bit of momentum here. I want to get cocky and say we've got a lot, because the second I say that, it's all going to grind to a halt. So we're just going to pretend we're not even noticing the speed that we're putting these in. And we're getting down. You can see we've got 47 of 54 pieces in. So we've only got a few left to get in here. Nope. There's over here. And now it goes there. Whoops. If I put it in correctly, it will. Right. And 2 pieces left. There he goes. And that one goes there. And there you have it. Took us 11 minutes 8 seconds to get that done. And at the piece is titled Equator, which of course obviously is fitting for Ecuador. But there you have it. Now the next time through, can we beat 11:08? Who knows? Probably. I'd hope so. But one never knows. But that kind of gives you a feel for how it goes. You can see you go all over the world, through Europe, across Asia, Australia, and Africa. And again, I don't want to give away too many of these puzzles because obviously you're going to enjoy trying them out for yourself. But in short, PlayFrugal definitely recommends Glass Masquerade. I'm going to give this one a 9.5 out of a possible 10. The graphics, the music, the gameplay itself all really lend themselves to a nice casual playthrough that you can really kind of get lost in for a little while. So that's it for this episode of PlayFrugal Reviews, and I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back again with another review tomorrow.